Hey guys, welcome back to another video. And so basically today we're going to be showing you what Pythagorean theorem is. And this is with me, Mr. Grape. You also might know me by the name Bombastic Bomb. Alright, anyways, so we're gonna start Pythagorean theorem off by telling you who made it. Pythagorean theorem was found by a man in ancient Greece named Pythagoras, hence the name Pythagorean. Okay, and it's a theorem. So, to know our theorem, first we need to know more about right triangles. So to know about a right triangle, we need to know why it's called that. It's a right triangle because there's a 90-degree angle right here. That's a right angle. So right triangle. Okay? So now we need to know what each of the sides are called. So if you have worked with right triangles before, you know the side opposite of the 90-degree angle, which is over here basically, is called the hypotenuse. Okay, we'll label that H. And the shortest piece besides the hypotenuse is named a leg, so we'll name that leg 1. And the last piece is basically another leg 2. It's the second longest piece of the triangle. So now that we know this, let's go ahead and find Pythagorean theorem. So basically, if I knew what my hypotenuse was, I could find out if I knew what my hypotenuse was and what my first leg was, I could find out what my second leg was. But let's say I knew my hypotenuse and my second leg, I could find out what my first leg was. Or if I knew my first leg and I knew my second leg, I could find my hypotenuse. Alright, you get the point? Good. So now let's tell you what the theorem is. The theorem itself, before we do that, we in a Pythagorean theorem, we label all the legs and the hypotenuse. So the hypotenuse is going to be side C. Leg 1, which is the shortest, is going to be A. And L2, which is the second longest side, is going to be B. Okay? Alright, now that we know that, we can do Pythagorean theorem. So let's just name them by their letters, which is that. Okay? A, B, and C. So let's know Pythagorean theorem. So Pythagorean theorem is just a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Now for those of you who don't know, who are kind of getting more used to all this more advanced math, I'm sure you guys are thinking, well, if we square root this and we square root this, doesn't it just become a plus b equals c? And that's not actually how it works, because order of operations, which we all learn in like kindergarten. So it's okay. Okay? Perfect. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. So now, let's go ahead and plug in our values. So basically, we're going to start off with A being a random side. Let's go with 3. Let's make B 4. So now let's go ahead and plug in these sides. So 3 squared plus 4 squared equals c squared. So then we're going to just do the arithmetic. I think that's what it would be called. No. But anyways, 9 plus 16 equals c squared. 25 equals c squared. Square root both sides. This is where you do the square rooting, and you get 5 equals c. So this side is 5. Now that we know that, the reason it's such a perfect thing is because this is what we call a Pythagorean theorem. Let's go ahead and go back. Oopsie. Okay. So a squared plus b squared. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. Perfect. Okay, so the reason that number came out so nice is because it's what we call a Pythagorean triple. A Pythagorean triple is basically just A the value of A, comma, value of B, comma, value of C. So in that case, it would have been 3, 4, 5. Now, another way is, let's say A is 6, B is 8. Now, you could solve this all. 6 squared plus 8 squared equals C squared, blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 right? But you could also notice that in this 3, 4, 5 triangle, and now we're looking for the third value of 6, 8, you're multiplying the 3 times 2, and you're multiplying the 4 by 2, which, just because Pythagorean theorem works like that, it's going to multiply the 5 by 2. You get 10. So this is a 6, 8, 10. Now I think that you get the hang of Pythagorean theorem and what we're trying to show you. Let's go ahead and try one last value. Sorry about that. Okay. So let's try 5, 12, and then let's try and find C squared. So 5 squared plus 12 squared equals C squared. 25 plus 144 equals 169, and yeah. So sorry. What am I doing? I'm pretty bad at this. Okay. Equals C squared. So 169 equals C squared. That was a very bad C squared up here. But anyways, square root both sides, and we get 13 equals C. Don't mind my sloppy handwriting. Anyway, so 13 is equal to C. So now let's try something new. Something different for that matter, actually. So I told you could find the length of the third side if you knew any of the other sides. So let's say I knew this side was 26 and this side is 24. So let's plug in our values. A squared plus 24 squared equals 26 squared. Now, what you would do if you were going to solve this all out is you would subtract 24 squared from both sides and get A squared equals 26 squared minus 24 squared. Okay, and you could solve that all out. But we just solved the 5, 12, 13 Pythagorean triple. And guess what this triple is? It is a 24 and a 26. So everyone, go ahead and say the value that comes before. It's 10. Perfect. Now, I'm going to show you one last thing about the Pythagorean theorem. So, now that we know A, B, and C, let's say we only knew A. And if we knew A was, let's say in this matter, 7, I can tell you exactly what B and C would be without knowing them. And the reason I can do this is because you take this first number, and if it is odd, you can square it, and you get 7 squared equals 49. And then you can find the two consecutive integers that go into 49. And in this case, it's 24 and 25. So this Pythagorean triple is 24 and 25. For 9, it would be 40 and 41, because 9 squared equals 81, and 40 and 41 are two consecutive integers that will go in there, and there are no other consecutive integers that would. And you could go on. 11 would be 60 and 61, I think. 121. No, that's not right yet. No, it is. And then 13 would be 84 and 85. Yeah. And so that's basically what you can do. And it's very convenient. So if your first digit is odd, it would be perfect to use. And that is the Pythagorean theorem for you guys. And thank you so much for watching. And don't forget, have a great day. And if you have any questions, leave a comment. And if you enjoy the material we have, you can subscribe or remember our YouTube name. Thank you so much. And there's your theorem. A squared plus b squared equals c squared.